I've been hearing that sitting kills you, but it's kind of a reality. I have to sit a lot. I work at a desk. I drive, things like that. We just naturally sit a lot. So she wants strategies to combat the negative health impact of sitting. Yes, we do all sit a lot. As a society, we just sit a lot. And unfortunately, it's not fortunately or unfortunately, it's not the total sitting time that's actually bad for you. It's the long periods of sitting down without a break. And it's not combated by exercise in terms of the health detriments, the chronic conditions and things like that that go along with the risks of sitting. So here's what I mean by that. If you exercise a ton, you go out for an hour run every day, but you still sit for 14 hours a day, you're still at risk of the negative health impacts of sitting. So what we really need to do is break up those sitting periods by standing up, by walking around the office, things like that. I have a few tips and tricks for you. Number one, I always stand when I'm on the phone. You'll notice here I'm standing doing Facebook Live videos. My computer, you can't see it, but my computer is up on a desk. I have like a 2-level desk. And so, like, my computer right here is hand level while I'm standing, and that's really helpful for me to stand up more. So anytime I don't have a client here in my office, I'm standing on the phone, if I'm just working on the computer, if I'm doing videos, if I'm brainstorming, whatever, I'm standing. And that rule for me really just helps get more standing in the day. If I'm not thinking about it, obviously our natural inclination is to sit. So make a rule. If you're on the phone, you're standing. Number two, I put a smiley face in my notes, but it's true. Drink lots of water. If you're drinking water like you should be doing, plenty of water through the day, you're going to have to go to the bathroom a lot, and that's a good thing. So if you stand up every hour or two when you have to go to the bathroom, that just gives you a break in the day. And I know it's frustrating and you're busy and you don't have time to go to the bathroom, but realize what you're saying. You have time for your health. You have time to go to the bathroom. If your boss says you're going to the bathroom too much, you got to get a new job. Everyone has time for that, and you should be drinking enough water and walking and things like that. So it's all good. Definitely trying to do hourly breaks. Even if the break is I'm just going to lean over in my chair and touch my toes. You need some kind of movement so that the blood keeps circulating at a faster rate. If you're just sitting there without any movement, your body's basically stagnant. So if you can set a timer or a calendar alarm or something like that on your computer, it would be great if every hour you could stand up and walk for 5 minutes. If that's a reality, do it for sure. If it's not, you can just lean over and touch your toes, unless you're in a super serious meeting or something. Just reach over, maybe stretch out a little bit. Do whatever you can to move just a teeny little bit every hour, and that combats the negative impact of sitting for a long time. A Fitbit is also really good. So I have my Fitbit set to have a certain number of steps. I think it's 250. That's like the base limit, and 250 steps is really easy. It's maybe walking for 1 minute. I don't really know, but it's not a lot of time. And so at the end of every hour, my client appointments are 50 minutes. So if my Fitbit buzzes at 150, for example, when my client leaves and I haven't had those 250 steps, then I just go walk and get water or whatever, walk a loop around my office. And you can set your Fitbit to do that too. And then find chances to walk and make them habits. So we've all heard the tips like park further away at the grocery store or whatever. For me, that means I walk to work every day. It takes the same amount of time. I live half a mile away, so getting in my car, starting it, parking, doing all that stuff would take the same amount of time as walking. So for me, that's a really convenient and easy way to get in extra walking. But for you, it might be every time before you walk into the house, you take a loop around the block or whatever it is. Come up with some habit that's going to make that easier for you. I'll say again, it's not so much about getting an exercise, which is also important. It's really about being active and at least moving throughout the day. So try to find ways that you can sneak in little mini breaks.